Everybody, it's Jenna from the Up North Home, and today I wanted to give you a little tour of our homeschool room. I've done a lot of changes on it and got a lot of things. If you are new to my channel, we just moved into this house 1 year ago, almost exactly. So the homeschool room has been not really a top priority, but since my kids have grown, we had school desks and stuff, so I decided to revamp for bigger children, and so I just thought I would show you around and maybe give you some ideas for your room. Alright, so in the kind of the central area of our homeschool room, we now have a small to medium-sized dining room table. I had 2 small school desks when we first moved in here, but they were more the size for like a kindergarten, first grade age student. And one thing I noticed with the school desks was that there was nowhere for me to sit. And so I found when I was working with my kids, I was kneeling down beside their desks, and then I had nowhere to put my teacher's manual or my planner. It was just kind of on the floor. So I hated the school desks. So, you know, if that might be a concern for you, consider getting a table. So I bought this table used. It's solid wood. So I repainted the legs and sanded and stained the surface to a nice, the color is dark walnut on top. And now there is enough seating for the 3 of us, which I love. And this wooden storage bin here, I just bought at Big Lots. It was $12, which to me is a little bit pricey, but it was perfect for what I wanted. And then we just have pens, highlighters, pencils, some Post-its, and a notepad in there. So I love having the pencils right out, and then when we work we can put them right back in there, and I think we're gonna have fewer pencils disappearing. So we had these computer chairs already. These were my husband and I's old computer chairs, and when we upgraded our chairs we still had these. So I thought that they would work in here, which they slide under the table really well because the arms can be folded up. And my chair right now is just actually one of our dining room chairs, but I am still in the market looking for a chair for me so that I don't need to use the dining room chair. The wishing well was made by my grandfather, so I just put it there for now and figured we could figure something really cute to do with it. So I purchased 3 of these white 3-tiered carts, and I got them at Walmart for $24. So they are a lot cheaper than the IKEA cart, which this is a black IKEA cart that I bought when I went to their store for the very first and only time I've been there. So since the IKEA store is really far away from me, I just happened to find this cart at Walmart, which was like fate, I think. So they work perfectly, they're easy to assemble, and I think the main difference between the two really is that the IKEA shelves can be adjusted to different heights, and the Walmart shelf has fixed shelves. They cannot be adjusted to different heights. So both of the kids have their own cart right next to their spot. So this is my son's side, and these are brand new, so we don't have a lot in them yet, but over time I think that we will have more things in these carts. And so I bought these plastic little bins at Walmart. They were these long ones are three of them for about 95 cents or so, and these 2 come in a 3-pack for about the same price, about $1. And we already had a bunch of rulers, and we got these cups at Walmart this year. They were like $1.50 maybe. And their scissors we got for $1 at the dollar store. And my son wanted to go with a theme of red. That's one of his favorite colors, so I got them 2 notebooks each for the year for now, and a red folder for him. And then he's got the bottom shelf is for their school books. So he's got his math notebook for his Life of Fred, and his reading books, handwriting, English, all that. And also from the dollar store last year, we got these little personal whiteboards for them, which they kind of liked to do reading and stuff, or not reading, math and stuff on those before too. And on our IKEA cart here, this is kind of the arts and crafts, I guess you could say, shelf. So it's got our 3-hole punch in here, and extra staples, and a little pencil sharpener. It's got all of our Sharpies and glue. These have extra pencils, extra ink pens, highlighters, and in these we have all of our coloring stuff. So we've got colored pencils on the top, and then gel pens. These are extra things like glue sticks and extra tape and pencil sharpeners, and then crayons and markers. And these all can stack together. The first one was gifted to me by a friend, and I really liked them, so I found the same thing at Joann Fabrics, so I purchased another set of those. So we have 3 of different sizes, and then the 2, and these could all be hooked together if you wanted to tote them around or whatever. I think they're pretty cool. All right, and then at Walmart, I got this magnetic little bin to hold our eraser and a few cheap dry erase markers. And I got this at Walmart too, and it's just a whiteboard eraser with a magnet so it can sit on the side of the cart. And in the top, it's kind of messy currently. I'm still kind of revamping this cart. So I've got our board cleaner and a wipe for it, extra paper clips, some scissors, a sewing project that I'm doing right now. I'm sewing some little skinny pencil cases to put our highlighters in for that'll fit in our Bible cases, so that we can carry those around in our Bible cases. And we just have some of these like 3x5 blank note cards here, and all of our multiplication flashcards, ones we're working on memorizing, and ones that we're either done with or haven't started yet. And then I just have a big stool right there that I use a lot because I am very short. And under the whiteboard, I just put one of those little plastic things in the wall. And the whiteboard, I got at Lowe's for like $8. It's, I don't know, 3x4 or something. So you can, they have the whiteboard paneling in the back, and it's way cheaper than going and buying a legit whiteboard at Walmart or wherever. So definitely check that out. So I just got the whiteboard paneling and framed it out with some 1-bys and stained it with the dark walnut stain and screwed them up there. So I think it looks really, really cool. And then beside that, I just picked up this map of the United States at Walmart. It was about just under $5 for the map, but we didn't have a US map yet, so I thought that was pretty essential. We've got these little character trait cards that I got offline. They each, you can go to that website, and these are really cheap, and you can pick like which trait you want. And on the back, it just has a picture of an animal that goes, you know, with the little trait. And they have a whole curriculum and everything if you need a character building trait. curriculum, whatever. And then, so we have our calendar up there, and then our neighbor, they're elderly, and they go to Florida for the winter, and they brought the kids back this cool brochure on sharks, and we were studying sea creatures, so it fit perfectly. And they had the lady, she collected some shark's teeth off the beach and brought them to the kids, so that was pretty cool. And they also brought this postcard for them, which is pretty cool. So we just keep kind of our current things on our board up here. And below that, I put this crate. I've had this crate for years and never really had a specific use for it, but I love the look of it. I got it years and years ago in Wyoming at like a used market store thing that they had, and I love it. So I thought this would be perfect for our library basket. So now that we will be able to utilize the library more, I want to make sure that we don't lose any books. So I'm gonna make a cute sign probably to put on the wall for library books, and then the kids will know, okay, this is where the library books go, and they stay when you're not reading them, so that they're not getting lost under beds or in crazy weird places. You just never know. So that is that. And on the other side is my daughter's side, and her theme is purple because that is her favorite color. So the same thing. We got these. They were packs of 2. They're really not that great. The lids barely stay on, and the magnets are not very strong, so I don't think I would really recommend them. But we got them at the dollar store in 2 packs, so I guess you get what you pay for there. And we got these at the store. They're just clip magnets. And she's got her notebooks and her school books on the bottom, some extra magnets on her cart if she wants to dress it up a bit, her dollar store scissors, and all that are in there. So I thought it would just be really cool to have all of their supplies and their books and everything at an arm's reach, so you know they have their own stuff readily available to them, but at the same time it looks neat, organized, well put together, and all that. So basically I think my idea is going to be, when I'm sitting here at the end in my spot, my cart is over here, so I get my very own cart too, and I figured I'll have it over here, and when I sit down and I'm using a lot of the stuff on it, I'll just roll it over and have it next to me by my chair. So I have a little bit more stuff than they do, but I've had this tape thing for a long time. I got it at Walmart. I got the scissors. They were like $1 at Meijer. I got this little bucket too at Walmart, and it's a dry erase, so you can draw on it or whatever. My daughter picked that out for me. And I have my highlighters here because I use them with my Bible a lot, so I wanted them out and accessible for when I'm reading the Bible. I also got just a stapler, a notepad, because it's cheap and you never know when you need paper. And again, I have a couple of these, not that great, but they're actually doing their job for now. And I got my clips too, of course, in my color. My daughter thought that I should go with a themed color too, and since my Bible was this color and my planner has that color, I kind of ran with it. So in the second drawer, I've got my Bible. I've got my planner, which is a simple plan. If you watched my unboxing video, you saw that. And then I just got some a folder and a pad of paper in case, and of course my curriculum magazine. And down here is all of the teacher's guides that I'm using, and curriculum that both kids are using. So right now we just switched to Life of Fred. If you saw my unboxing video, you would have heard me explain all that. So we're kind of just starting at the beginning and reviewing and going until they are both at the place that they should be. So we are starting this for the summer. And I've got just my teacher's guides, and then they both do Mystery of History together, so I have that, and our Bible Atlas, and our science curriculum that they both do together, and then they can have their notebooks in their own carts, and then just their spelling. So all of my teacher's guides go on the bottom. Alright, and then on this wall, right as you come in the door, we just have a cheap bookshelf. I got it at Big Lots right shortly after we first moved in, because I did have all of these books. I really have only bought a couple books since we've lived here. So I had all these books and they were all over the floor in boxes, and so it was a necessity to get a shelf as quickly as I could. So I don't know, this was maybe $20 or something, maybe less, at Big Lots. It's just a cheap shelf. I'm not a super fan of it. I mean, this shelf, I don't know if you can see, but it looks almost a little bit bowed in the middle already. So it was basically to tide us over. My long-term goals will be for my husband to build me some custom solid wood bookcases in here, and I'm kind of wanting to do, like, instead of tall, to have them wide and short so that I can still utilize the wall space above for educational posters and things like that. We're going to be studying human body next year, so I would like to get some human body posters, skeletal, muscular, and all of that cool stuff. So it would be really cool to have the horizontal bookcases instead of the vertical ones. So, and I think that a great place would be under the whiteboard. I was thinking I could move that cart to over where the bookshelf is now, and across under there could be like a narrow horizontal bookcase, and then I could definitely buy more books, which I am a fan of. So alright, and I think last but not least is our closet. Behind these pretty white girly curtains is kind of a mess. It's kind of a disaster. It's kind of where things don't have a place, they get placed in here. So when we moved here, I had already got this huge filing cabinet for free from my husband's last work, so that was a real blessing. We have files in the top two, and then the bottom I use more for storage of extra supplies, so extra notebooks. I can do extra tape or printer paper and things of that nature that I buy if I buy extras or in bulk if there was a great sale, so that's where they would go in the bottom. And right here I have my sewing machine and all of my sewing notions, crochet hooks, and all of that kind of stuff that I do. And my vacuum is hanging in here on the wall. And let's see, this cardboard thing is our timeline for Mystery of History. And let's see, down there is my daughter's scrapbooking supplies and some jewelry making stuff for her. My tripod's in the corner. My husband's laptop is just sitting there randomly because it needs to be taken downstairs. I've got a bunch of binders that are not being used currently, and we put just her horse game in there for now. This is the rest of our curriculum we have for this year that we're not quite utilizing yet. And then we have a million Bibles here. Okay, maybe like 10. We have about 10 to 12 Bibles currently in our home. We have some just educational books here and some old story books that were mine as a kid that my mom saved for me. I've got, this is curriculum that I'm selling, or trying to sell, I should say, on Facebook. So there's just some packages that I'm trying to sell, and these are old curriculum that I am just going to donate. And I have some extra containers for organizing back there. It's hard to see, it's dark. And on this shelf, the top two shelves are more my books, my husband's books, and some educational, I guess, for herbs and homesteading and stuff like that. Dave Ramsey, some exercise and diet books. My husband's a certified nutritionist and personal trainer, so we have a lot of that type of stuff. And these are mostly my husband's corner of books and a few of mine, I guess, on top. And the top row is pretty much all my books for the most part. These are things that I have either read or plan to read in the future. Yes, I have definitely not read all of them, but you never know. If I find a book at a thrift store, I have a really hard time. I'm really addicted to books, so I'm definitely a bibliophile. So up there in the shoebox, we have paints, like puffy paints and stuff. I save gift bags. There's an old art easel up there and some sewing stuff, some stuffing and whatnot. So that is about it in our homeschool room. If you saw anything that I didn't explain and you're wondering about it or where I got it or how much it cost, let me know. I'll try to do my best at getting back to you on that. I hope that this gave you some ideas for your homeschool room, or if you don't have a specific room, that's great too. We homeschooled for 3 years in our dining room, at our dining room table. So don't feel like you are not good enough or don't have the great space or whatever. Work with what you have, and the important thing is that you are doing what you can for your children. So I hope that this was a blessing to you, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Bye.